Let's have a look and see what the current exchange rate for divines is. Let's see, I want divines, I have exalt. Oh, I mean, that's spiked up a bit, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. This week, I really want to get this baby, because this is going to make our build so much better. But it's 35 fucking divine orbs. Jesus Christ. I guess it's time to find alternate ways to make money, because I can't be fucked setting up the Vault Temple. Let's see what we can do. Post-editing side here, I'm just making this little bit of tidbit after I've edited the whole video, because a lot of the stuff I say in this video has now sort of changed with the latest hotfix. Yeah, Vault Temple is now completely bricked, and you have every single right to complain about the economy being dead. I don't know why they decided to do this, but well, I guess it's time to farm other shit. Yeah, I did. Thank God I didn't invest time into Vault Temple. Post-editing side here, I just had a look at Fubgun's temple, and apparently it's even more fucked than I originally thought it was, because people who have set out their temple, now their temple is permanently set up and it cannot be bricked, but you can no longer build a temple like Fubgun's, which means the people who have built the temple are absolutely fine, and the people who didn't are absolutely fucked. GGG, what the fuck are you doing? So I have now been farming T10s for the last week or so. Honestly, the build is doing much better than I expected it to. Yeah, we use Toxic Growth basically to get rid of rares, and then we use our Wolf form with Lunar Blessing to just clear packs, honestly. Let's just look at that. Just so good. Poison works so well, actually, with this. Because you can just absolutely demolish bosses. Especially if a crit lands. It's, so good. And I almost fucking died. Yeah, that's the only downside of this build. The downside of this build is if you get caught, you're pretty much fucked, because deflection and evasion can only take you so far. They are very good, and it survives a lot more than you probably think it would. But it's still an evasion build, so whatever hits you don't tank are gonna fucking hit like a truck. Yeah, so dots and degen is basically our like biggest threat in this, honestly, for this build. That's what fucks us mostly. First map of the day, and we already have an Abyssal Depths. Maybe we'll get something out of it. So I'm not sure if anyone's seen it. Ooh, nice, there you go. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm not sure if anyone's seen this, but I saw a Reddit thread a couple days ago about killing the Amanamu Void Abyss mobs outside of their Void, and basically getting more loot. And I tested it myself. I think I've killed like 5 so far outside of the Void. And every single one of them has dropped me like 2-3 omen. I'm not joking. It actually works. I'll try to showcase it to you in the video if it happens. But yeah, it's like it's always dropping omens almost. At least it drops at least one. Obviously they're not high value omens all the time, but I've gotten some like putrescent, an omen of light, and a couple of abyssal echoes actually from it. So yeah, for this build, I really want to get Rakianas for my Lunar Blessing and Garkon's Resolve for my Toxic Growth. I think I'll literally be able to just steamroll everything in the game if I get those two. Because then it's just like, I'm already like pretty much steamrolling a lot of things. But yeah, I think those 2 gems will literally just completely change my build. Or like make it so much more efficient at like clearing bosses easily. Oh, here it is! Here, oh yep, there it is. There's a mob here. I'm just going to lure it out. Actually, I'm gonna let him do his thing. There you go. There you go. See? Putrefaction and textural necromancy. You just don't let him stay in there, and you pretty much get omens out of that. Oh my god. See, this is why I hate this is why I hate this shit. GGG. Like, look, now I have a dead fucking map because I died once, and now this map is completely dead, and I still have to force my way through it because it's the only efficient way to get where I want to on the Atlas. Like, look at this shit. It's like you're forcing me to fucking die on a build that's designed to die because why not? Yeah, it's evasion. It's evasion. Oh, if you don't have ES and with evasion, you're just gonna die. Just accept it. don't run it hardcore, and just die. Either I have to go around this entire fucking place, or I have to repeat this without content. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? And you know what's worse? Here's what's worse, because this is what it makes me want to do now. I'm just gonna grab a T1. A T1, I'm not even gonna fucking do anything to it. A T1, put that there. There you go. And now I'm going to just fucking get to the boss, finish it, and call it a day. Because that's the way the game is designed right now. That's it. It forces you to literally steamroll the game, not care about any mechanic, because if you do the mechanic and it kills you, you are now punished further. Losing 10% XP and hours of XP is not punishment enough. Now you have to lose everything alongside with it. And it sucks too, because it's like, the only reason that happens is because this build, I made this a werewolf build, right? Which means it is fundamentally a melee build. I have to get close to do damage. Right? Because that's how I've designed this build. That's the idea behind it. But when stuff like that happens, it just encourages me to go full ranged, right? And not deal with any attack or any mechanic ever. I am honestly, low-key, like, very scared of the endgame changes they said they're doing in 0.5, because apparently it's such a big thing they're working on that they couldn't fit it in 0.5. Which has me a little bit scared, because I'm like, how big of a change to the game is this gonna be? Is this gonna change into a game that I fundamentally, it's like so different from what I want, I just don't enjoy it anymore? It's a really scary thing to think about. It's not that scary of a thought in a sense. It's like, it's not literally scary, obviously, but it's like, content creation-wise, it's a scary thought. You know, when you build a channel off of a game, and when that game becomes either too boring to play, or they change it to the point where it's like, it's not enjoyable anymore, yeah, that's a very scary thing as a content creator. Like, look at this, man, like, what the fuck? And before I hear any comments going, oh, bro, you only have 1.7k HP, bro, what do you expect? It's like, yeah, so why should what? Run fucking energy shield like the rest of the fucking people? Like, I hate energy shield, okay? Unless I'm playing caster, I just don't like energy shield. I want evasion and deflection to be better at what they do, right? And I want mobs to not rush me down like fucking a group of Usain Bolts on crack, okay? The game, my build is designed to do what it needs to do. My build-wise, is exactly what it should be. Anyone who's running deflection/evasion will tell you we cannot have too much HP, because in order to have evasion, you need to sacrifice prefixes to get evasion scaling, which then also scales your deflection. Actively scaling in maximum HP on all your gear is actively not scaling evasion and deflection, which would then leave you with a lot of HP, not enough defenses to basically mitigate damage, and you get one shot on 4k. Yeah, this whole thing where you, and here's the kicker actually, now that I think about it. The fact that you get stunned so easily because you're constantly getting like bombarded with mobs. And the fact that there's like now dedicated, like look at this shit. And that's it. There's no trying again. There's no, oh shit, let me just be more careful. There's nothing. Either you have the build perfectly set up to run that content, or you don't run that content. In PoE 1, you had it so you could die a couple times in absolutely juiced up T17s if you were more careful. Even if you had like a complete fucking glass cannon build, you could afford to die once or twice. In this game, you can have a relatively good build that isn't fully glass cannon, but because everyone is running it fucking Mac fuck you, right? And they stun you and cancel your animations, which then resets whatever fucking forced animation attack you have. You were forced to run that animation again, which then gets stun locked again. You are now surrounded by 20 million mobs that you can do nothing against because they're constantly stun locking you, and your fancy little animation can't go through because you're fucking dead. They genuinely either need to remove stun completely or make it so white mobs can't stun you. Actually, I can run this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna run with 2 portals, man. Fuck this shit. This is just so anti-fun, honestly. This isn't to like cast down on any changes they've made, but is it just me, or is this league actually like running way worse than any other league? I'm getting so many micro stutters and FPS dropping incidents in this league than any other league. Like, I get they said they changed a lot of things and improved performance by quite a bit. I genuinely do not see it. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. Is anyone else feeling the same thing? Is anyone's game running more shit? Also, new Arc Raider season is out, which is much better so far Oh my god. I've actually gotten more blueprints in the first week of playing it than I have in the entire season that I played the last. I wish I was joking. I think I had like 16 blueprints by the time I finished the expedition last time, and I played it way more too. And I have more blueprints this time around. I'm so glad to increase the drop rate, honestly. Bro, where the fuck are all the ritual tablets? Do they not exist? I found like 2 in the entire league so far. What is going on? Goodbye. Is this gonna be a boss? No. Whoa, holy shit, what is going on? See, and like, unless I turn this off, how am I meant to see any degen or explosive going on in this clusterfuck? Like, as a melee character, like, if you're far away as a ranged character, it's no problem. But as a melee character, you're just screwed. You just die. You just melt. Oh, nice. Holy shit. That's just a white mob. It defines us all. I should be a voice actor, you guys. Don't you agree? Should be making bajillions off of my sleek, smooth, buttery voice.
只有我守着安静的沙漠。
What the fuck just happened? No, we pray that we don't lose the intelligence. Boom. We lost the intelligence. Classic. I guess we could try and get the onslaught now on it or something. Please lose like mana or something. Oh my fucking god, it took the skills away. Love it, yeah, just explode me, explode all over my face. Not that fuck. You're there. Ooh, is this a temple? Oh yeah, we have unlocked the temple. I haven't done these in a while. So I saw a little bit of a, I guess you could call it controversy going with the temple, which, with surprise, surprise, it has to do with pump gun, as most things happen. But yeah, I saw that there was like some kind of quote-unquote exploit happening, and I looked into it. Apparently people are like getting 60 divines an hour from running temple, and I looked into the strategy. Apparently like involved running a campaign map, I think it was Holton. Basically running it to charge up your temple, and I'm fucking... Anyway. Yeah, apparently they like people were like running campaign to charge up their temple because of the way crystals work, and they were abusing the shit out of that. And people were like giga mad at Fubgun for ruining the economy, as if this is the first time we've had people like abusing tech to fuel their economy. I think it's a bit of an over-exaggeration to say it's an exploit slash cheating, especially from what I looked at. It's entirely like in-game mechanics. Like, he didn't cheat or break the game in any way. It's just Holton spawns the portal thing for Val Ruins in a very specific, consistent place, and you can just do that over and over. And before the fix, you could literally just run it over and over and essentially just feed your character with it. But now obviously you can't because they fixed it, and you want high-level temples. I've seen a few creators talk about it too. I think Ziz and Mathel made a video about it. Haven't exactly watched them, unfortunately, but I don't know what the consensus is entirely on whether it was an actual exploit or not. I don't think it was, personally, because again, like, I didn't do it. You just saw my temple. I could never do something like that because I'm just way too fucking lazy, and I love doing different things. I don't like grinding the same exact fucking thing 24/7. I just can't do it. That it does feel a bit like cheesy to me to do it that way, but it's like, it's part of the game. Whether you'll say it's unintended or not, it's like they're still not breaking the game or abusing a bug or whatever. It was intended before they fixed. Well, it wasn't intended per se, but it's, you know, it's an oversight on GGG. They didn't break the game or maliciously, like, intentionally broke a mechanic. It's just they used the mechanics that were at their disposal, and they made a lot of currency. I think in the current state of the game, where it's like early access, even though it's not really being treated as such, in my opinion, I still think it's important that we have someone like Fubgun essentially at least airing this out. Yeah, you sort of want highly abusable mechanics to sort of come afloat before they become super problematic later down, because he could have easily just not said anything and just made a metric fuck ton of currency and, yeah, you know, just flooded the market. And let's be honest, I'd be surprised if he was the only one doing it, and if he's the only one figured it out. There's a lot of smart people playing this game, and I'm pretty sure he just, you know, just showed what to do, essentially. I think people are very, very quick to, like, draw out their pitchforks in order to justify being mad at something that either A, didn't catch on to, or B, they feel like they've been cut off from the game. And I get the frustrating part, obviously, because like if you didn't, you feel like you missed out. I mean, I feel like I missed out, right? But at the same time, it's like, what are the odds of me actually ever setting this up, right? I look at it, I'm like, probably not. I know I'm too lazy to get into this shit. Funnily enough, I was looking at the market. Divines have remained relatively steady right now. Obviously, they're still rising, but they're not rising any exponentially faster than previous leagues. They're still relatively, like, same-ish. Sure, they're 400x right now, but I thought with the amount of X people are making, the amount of Divines people are making, it would just be impossible to get a Divine now, but no, they're still about 400x each, which they were, truth be told, heading towards that direction previously anyway, so I don't know, man. I feel like I'm ranting here, but I feel like there's so many people being super fucking doomer about this. It's just, I don't know, man, just feels weird this time around. Again, this is, as I said, this isn't to say that I don't understand the frustration, but I feel like the frustration, the cause of frustration, or, you know, the supposed reason of frustration, I feel like is a little bit overblown. Like, everyone can do this. Everyone can use this mechanic, right? It's not like you're suddenly closed off from the mechanic. Sure, it'll take a little bit longer to set up now because of the whole Holton patch, but you can still make those, you can still make those temples. You can still run them. This, to me, is no different than the inflation situation in Affliction, where everyone was making ridiculous amounts of currency from abusing the juice from the Affliction League. This feels to me like the same exact thing, except it's not Affliction. In my humble opinion, honestly, I think the way the temple should be set up as a mechanic, I don't think it should ever disincentivize doing the bosses. Because right now, that's my major gripe with Temple, is that you are literally disincentivized from running at Syrian Architect, because you don't want the Temple to reset, because obviously you don't want to lose the loot potential, right? I think the Temple should be built around empowering Architect and Atsiri to maximize profit, because to me, if they're, the way they're trying to vision this game, I think the hard and most rewarding content should always be bosses. Either that or extremely juiced maps. What Temple is essentially a more deterministic map to a degree, because it's not completely deterministic, because there's some RNG to it. Because Val Temple is essentially just the extension of a map, where the whole point of, you know, the mechanic lore-wise especially, of the Temple is to go back in time and kill Atsiri to stop her from doing whatever it is you're doing. And you're literally just ignoring your entire purpose of doing the temple in order to farm currency. The fight itself is very good, but it's too punishing it, like farming it and taking so long to farm the temple in order to get to Atsiri and then dying and losing everything. If you do Atsiri, temple resets. If you do the Architect, temple resets. If you die to the Architect, temple resets. If you die to Atsiri, temple resets, and you have to do it all over again and basically spend like another 10-20 hours trying to get to Atsiri again. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this as well, but there's been such a shift in opinion about this whole mechanic in the league ever since this tech was found out about how to make, you know, ridiculous amounts of currency. Because now everyone's like making giga divines in currency, and everyone's like, oh my god, you know, the temple has grown on me, I've made so much currency out of it, this is actually probably my favorite league, or my favorite league mechanic. This is so good, blah blah blah. And you know, about a week and a half ago, everyone's like, Temple is boring, I'm never doing it again, what the fuck was GGG thinking? And I was like, oh my god, GGG actually cooked, we were wrong, guys. It's like, bruh, it's so funny when that shit happens. And all it takes is like a few people finding out, like going into depth on trying to make the mechanic works, and they find something that's like completely busted. I think it was either John or Mark in an interview that said, you know, there's some temple setups that incentivize actually not doing Atsiri and the Architect, which I think is perfectly fine. I think it's cool to have different temples do different things. But the problem is that there is no incentive to actually run Atsiri. Like, there is no good enough reward where you'd ever be like, oh, you know what? I actually want to do Atsiri for this thing rather than get, you know, 60 divines an hour every time I fucking run the temple. It's like, yeah, there's literally no reason to farm Architect in Atsiri. Like, there's nothing decent chase, nothing for the Architect. Just nothing. Which I think is the sad part, honestly, about the mechanic for me. It's like I really enjoy the Atsiri fight. It takes too long to get to it, and it's not rewarding enough compared to the rest of the temple. Well, that guy just got deleted. Oh, Amanamu. Look at that. Works every single time, man. Just pull them out of the fucking void, and you have yourself some nice omens, baby. Oh my god, he fisted me. Oh, hey man, George, how's it going today? You know, man, it's the same usual shit. I've been grinding maps and dying consistently. What's happening? George! No! George! George! Ah, well, there's our temple. So much for our overrun abyss. Like, look at that. Like that doesn't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, it's Series Chamber. Yeah, no, that's it's under maintenance, guys. It's blocked off. There's roadworks happening in that last piece. I'm just gonna start scratching my ass crack aggressively in protest against GGG to make Atsiri more accessible. Bro, the shit that comes out of my mouth sometimes. Truly wonder if I was dropped as a baby in the maternity ward. Oh, nice. You keep feeding me those, GGG, and I won't protest at all. Yay, guys. We're rich. Rock and stone, brother. Rock and stone. If you get that reference, you're a cool person. Holy fuck. This is just a clusterfuck on the screen at this point. Like, I die because of so much happening on the screen, and just look at... It is genuinely actually disgusting how long the temple takes. Jesus. Look at all these precursor tablets. If only the fucking ritual ones existed. Okay, so quick little update on the build. I've seen a couple people ask for a guide. I'm still working on that, unfortunately, because, again, I haven't had time. With all the New Year stuff and Christmas stuff happening this week, I basically had like 3 days where I had plans with family and friends, but I will be working on a POB on this build sometime this week. Strictly because, yeah, I'm also editing this video. I'm not sure if I'll make a video guide on it. What I may do is I'll make a POB, and then whoever has questions about the build, you can join the Discord and I'll try to answer them there for you. I will try to work on a video depending on how time is, but as you can see, yeah, we've been doing quite well. Again, I've cleared all content relatively easy. The only problem with this build is it's a low HP pool, and it uses evasion and deflection as its main defensive stats. So we have 57 deflection with 49 damage reduction, and we go up to like 64 and what was it, 59. Yeah, respectively when we move. We can scale that better, of course. There are some pieces of gear that we can probably change that will give us more. For example, if we take away the life on these boots, we can probably get higher evasion, and if we manage to get lightning, well, any res anywhere, we can get the evasion to rating on the boots, evasion to deflection rating, sorry, on boots. I currently have this Ice Fang, which basically, the Ice Fang orbit, which increases magnitude of poison, and poison basically contributes to magnitude of chill. I will probably remove this once I get a Rakiata. That's my main goal right now, is a Rakiata, because I want to place that on my Lunar Blessing, which is what I'm saving the last slot for, because I want my Lunar Blessing to essentially be a white clear that completely ignores elemental res. And probably when I'll get that, I won't need this anymore. Truth be told, I'm only keeping this right now for the magnitude of poison because it's just extra damage, but we're probably better off getting another ring here that has stats so we can change some stuff around. Obviously, we still have Plague Finger. I did get a very, very ridiculous gem. I got this Time Lost Ruby that I crafted myself. Gain 1 rage on melee hit, skill speed while shapeshifted, and 3% increased global defenses with the upgrades radius to large. So yeah, I have a lot of notables here that give me, that just give me ridiculous stats. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all give me stuff. I am tempted to genuinely take this as well, just to get more of it, but we'll have to see. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty well. We've taken some deflection notes here with evasion. And yeah, so far it's been very chill. I am taking these nodes over here, but again, we'll have to see how it goes, because we just need a tiny bit more crit to consistently crit, and yeah. That's what's on the agenda right now. We just need a Rockiana, and that's what I'm grinding for. I'm hoping I get it from the next Jade Isles I do, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I am working on a guide, or I will be working on a guide sometime this week. Oh, would you look at that? Fucking finally. Jesus Christ. You guys may be actually able to see me fight a T right now. Actual butt cheek trying to get it. Okay, what is with the... Do you guys see this shit? Like, what? You were met... Oh. Okay, man. It felt me about to complain, and the game was like, oh, I'm sorry, here's a divine for your troubles. But yeah, do you see this fucking FPS issues? Jesus. It's a clusterfuck. Greater Vision Rune. Yeah, I'm sorry to wonder where the Greater Vision is, honestly. Bro, this is gonna be like a fucking 40-minute map. Jesus Christ, I've been running through this like a crackhead. Also, is it just me, or are Scrolls of Wisdom somehow rarer than Divines? I think I have like 20 in my stash, and that's all I found. It's like, I've used some, obviously, but I've never had a full stack in my inventory the entire league. What is going on in this league, honestly? I'm dying to set up a filter where Scrolls of Wisdom make divine tink noises. Bro, just get me out of here. Look at this. This is, oh my fucking god. That's never... Well, here we go. Who the fuck is Pochita? Pochita? Pochiti? Pochita? I'm coming, Pochita. Holy shit. We are... Poor Atsiri. Let me in. Oh my god, it Okay, we're back. Fucking froze on me. The fuck? What do you mean, bro? Pochiti! I'm sorry, Doriani, but I want the loot. Give me the loot, baby. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get nothing of worth. Watch. Ooh. Oh, yeah, baby. See, this is what the temple should be about. Doing this. This is genuinely what should be. What is this, by the way? Oh my god, that's 24 divine? Yeah, you'll avenge her, sure. Goodbye. Ooh, nice, they actually dropped out of Louise. I have sort of started layering my temple. I'm not sure if I'm doing it the correct way. I'm just saying what it's like. Everyone's like going to the side and like snaking around. I haven't seen the actual strategy or how to do it. I'm just putting shit on the side, man. That's basically what I'm doing. Everyone's complaining that the game feels like it's... The developers are asking you to play it the way they envision you to, and this has been like my feeling since basically day one. Since I saw like the whole like the forced animations on skill. Like, I remember my first complaint was with Toxic Road and its old animation, because it felt like a wasted skill. And now that shit is happening with literally like pretty much every skill, and in a sense where it's almost being done purposefully shady, because there's skills now that we found out that have like hard lockout periods where you literally cannot use a skill, or the skill cannot attack after a certain amount of like time. And that has been sort of like my fear on PoE 2 compared to PoE 1. The problem with PoE 2 having lockout periods like this, it feels like in PoE 1, right? The way builds are done is a lot of problem solving is done in the process, right? Like, you'll try to overcome mana costs or slow attack speed or whatever, and you're given the tools. Sometimes, like, it's very complicated and very heavy in investment to make a skill work, but you can make it work in PoE 1. In PoE 2, you have, I believe Postron made a video about the limits that he had on the Ancestral Warrior totems, where they have a 600 millisecond lockout time, meaning even if you have something like, I think it was 300% attack speed that he managed to get to, you can only attack once a second because of that millisecond timer. At that, and it's hidden. It's not anywhere on the gem. It's not anywhere in the description. You have to go on PoE 2 DB before you can even invest in a skill, because you think it works in a certain way and it doesn't. I think, to me, the problem with that sort of approach, especially when you've had a game like PoE 1 out for so long and work in such a specific way, where players had a lot of agency on what happened with their build. I think the problem lies in when you have a hard limit set that's not usually a thing in the first game. It's no longer about creating problems for players to solve. Ah! Well, that's a problem you can solve right there. You just fucking died to that. Anyway, as I was saying, it's no longer about creating a problem for a player to solve. It's no longer a problem, but it's a hard limit you set on the player to tell them, hey, no, you're not meant to do it this way, honey. You're meant to do it this way. And don't you dare try to do it this way, because it's not gonna work. Except you don't tell them that last bit, and someone's like trying to figure out why their build isn't working, bashing their head against the wall because there's an invisible limit that they can't see. You know, the average player isn't going on PoE2.db to figure builds out. That's for us nerds, right? Like, not even I do that, truth be told. And I fucking have been like busting my balls figuring my build out. You can also like sort of see the proof of what I'm talking about when you look at the builds. You have basically every spell build that's going on currently is using some sort of cast on crit comment. When every single build that uses different skills results in one skill doing the tail end of like high damage / clearing comet with cast on crit. Like even poison, like for my build, I am a werewolf poison build, right? But because of the way poison works and the fact that toxic growth is such a good poison skill, which by the way I hope they don't nerf. But this sort of like, if you're gonna run a Pathfinder poison and not run toxic growth, no matter what you're doing as poison, you're kind of stupid, because toxic growth is just too good of a skill to pass up for poison. Like, yes, I am a werewolf, but toxic growth still does like a large portion of the damage. I could probably do the entire game without it, yes, but why would I when it's so like good? Apologies for the rambling. I'm just yapping, man. Ultimately, I think I'm in like one of the small band of players that wants like PoE2 to really succeed and at the same time still have some of that PoE1 charm. Because again, like, I really love PoE2, but ultimately I think its biggest success is grabbing what PoE1 has already and just massively reiterating on it and making it just more smooth and better. You know what? I'm probably gonna run a few of the Trials of Chaos. I think I know what I'm gonna be working on a video for next week.